Now, ever since the U.S. launched the strikes on Iran, U.S. President Donald Trump has hit out at his NATO allies, claiming that the NATO abandoned Washington in its war with Iran. And this week, the NATO chief met the U.S. president. And he described the meeting as a candid conversation between two really good friends. Listen to this.
I sensed his disappointment about the fact that he felt that too many allies were not with him. And I explained to him yesterday, I said, hey, Mr. President, clearly the overwhelming majority of Europeans have done what the US asked of him and what was previously agreed in these circumstances. And yes, sometimes it takes a bit of time, but hey, guess what? We have coalitions in Europe, we have sometimes the political home front to take care of, so sometimes it takes a couple.
However, the Republican leader on his post on Truth Social worded it with a differing tone. His post said, and I'm quoting, "Our own, very disappointing. NATO does not understand anything unless they have pressure placed upon them," quote unquote. Just before the two leaders met, the White House press secretary reiterated that the NATO turned its back on the US, adding that the US president might discuss the possibility of withdrawing from the NATO. And Trump's latest fury stemming from the US allies' refusal to embrace his decision to join Israel in the attack on Iran, with Britain and Spain also setting limits on the United States' ability to use bases on their territory. The UK Prime Minister, who just wrapped up that Gulf tour, did not give a direct answer when asked if he raised US threats of withdrawing from NATO with Trump.
Then it's in America's interest as well, though.
It is in America's interest, it's in European interest. You know, NATO is a defensive alliance which for decades has kept us much safer than we would otherwise have been. So we're strong supporters of NATO, we'll always be strong supporters of NATO.
Earlier, the German Chancellor said the Iran war has become a transatlantic stress test as the war in the West Asian region has put an intense strain on the global economy. On his part, President Trump is stating the unwillingness of the European nations to back the United States in the conflict as another reason to scale back or abandon the alliance after Greenland.